There's an enormous opportunity for television networks in direct brands. And I should add, we call them direct brands rather than DTC or direct to consumer, because for most people, DTC implies that this is all about things being delivered to the home, but it is a much bigger economic revolution than that. This is really about the direct connectivity between the brand and the end consumer. And it's about the ability of companies being able to piece together from available resources in the supply chain, piece together companies almost without enormous capital investment. And that's why, that's the very reason that this is an explosive opportunity for television networks, because first and foremost, there is an explosion in the number of new brands coming into the marketplace in virtually every category. At IAB, we did research last year that we released at our annual leadership meeting last year with Dun & Bradstreet, which we identified 5,000 significant companies, direct brands in the US alone, all categories of them. So there's just a lot of companies out there that are now competing in every category you can name: fashion, cosmetics, shoes, packaged goods, food, everything. Because there's so many companies, it's a very competitive marketplace. They need to break through. They've been very successful in their launch phases, marketing using social networks and some other things. But now, in order to be even more competitive, they need to move into main media. And so we're seeing that over and over and over again. These companies at a certain point in time, generally, we think it's around 3 to 5 years into their lifespan, they're looking at TV and radio, and they're achieving a lot of success as a result.
And what do they bring to TV? Of course, they have a lot of first-party data, don't they, for their customers? How does data kind of impact their planning and performance, would you say?
Well, that's one of the interesting hurdles for the television industry in attracting direct brands, because the very nature of the direct brand is that data, well, first-party relationships realized through first-party data are the core asset of the enterprise. So that's what makes them different from old-line incumbent brands. Old-line incumbent brands did not have direct relationships with their end consumers. They had relationships with the retailers. These companies have relationships with the end consumers. So the challenge, also the opportunity, frankly, for television, for radio, for print, is to first and foremost show how they can help the direct brands scale by doing effective storytelling to very large audiences that they can also segment very, very finely. And then secondly, they have to show how that ability to scale transcends whatever gaps they might have in the ability to gather data. But this is really important, since every modern television network also is a collection of digital resources as well, they have these data assets. So I think the opportunity here for the television companies is to more fully integrate their assets, their digital assets, their cable assets, their broadcast assets, if they have them, their analytic abilities, their strategic ability, their understanding of consumers, their understanding of individual marketplaces, and really importantly, their expertise at storytelling and content and experience creation, and bring those together on behalf of these new direct brands.
And Randy, just a little bit of a preview of the next big meeting coming up, your leadership meeting.
Well, it's all about, so the IAB annual leadership meeting in Phoenix in February 10th to 12th, is all about this subject. So last year, as you'll recall, we released what was and remains the largest study ever done on the direct brand economy. We kind of outlined why it exists, how it came into existence, what its piece parts are, how companies succeed in this economy, what the challenges are that disruptors are presenting to incumbents. So we released that big piece of research. This year, the theme of the meeting is how incumbents are adapting to the direct brand disruption. We're looking to show what are the developing best practices, case studies about how the world's largest and most successful brands are competing against this new form of disruption, and how that's playing itself out across the entire value chain. So not only how are big brands like a Procter & Gamble adapting to the disruption in the deodorant category or the shaving category, but also what does this mean for media companies? What does this mean for a Hearst? What does this mean for an NBCU? And what does this mean for technology companies and data companies? So that's what the meeting is about.